Hello. Hello. Hello.
Yellow.
Hey, how are we all doing? Yes.
Screaming.
Good evening, everyone. We're back. We're live. We're streaming. We're doing our stuff. Let's check if everything seems to be working.
Can
We
you
have
hear us?
sound. We do have sound. Yes, everything seems to be good. Not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. As such, viewers will receive whatever. Okay, so we have a shitty connection again.
It's not even
That
raining this
sucks.
time.
And I don't even know
It's the
why.
wind.
Don't
It is
even
the
know
wind.
why. What wind?
It's a living there, but it doesn't.
I don't know. Oh, no, I'm trying. I'm really trying.
So let's
Anyway.
see. Complain loudly in the chat if it's
Exactly.
horrible.
Exactly. Maybe the world will
Shout,
hear you and
wave
nature will say
hands.
something.
Gnashing
I don't
of
know.
teeth, wailing.
We'll do things. Anyway,
You
hello
were
everyone.
our players.
We're here again. As usual, we got the usual three people. We got Brad over there. We
Hello.
got Andrea, Darren, and we're doing some painting and talking about Warhammer.
Exciting.
Surprise, surprise.
Oh,
Yeah.
shocking.
We were thinking of talking about something else tonight,
Food.
Like-
but we couldn't think of anything else worth talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the truth.
Because nothing is happening interesting in the world right now.
Nothing. Nothing in the
I
world.
mean, this
is
year's been the most boring year.
Yes.
Tap on wood.
interesting. Yeah.
Don't listen to me, 2020. You're a wonderful year. You
Yes.
don't need to impress us anymore.
2021, hold my beer.
Definitely.
Oh, we know it's gonna happen.
So basically, what are we?
We're gonna have zombies next year.
be talking. What are we doing tonight? We're doing some painting. Obviously,
yeah,
we've got
so-
a whole bunch of painting going on here. Let's switch to the other cam quickly. I can show you guys just exactly what we're painting.
So we got some topics. We got
Yeah.
the new FAQ on.
Sure. In the meantime.
New FAQ
Yay.
on Lookout Surf for 40k.
Rotten stuff.
We have the morality of good versus evil.
Oh yeah.
We have. What was the other topic we want to talk about?
And we wanted to talk about these new wounds that's come out.
Well, the updates are just
All the
went
new,
live.
like the latest stuff.
Yeah.
While we were setting up.
Big bikes. I am pouring my soul into my favorite.
Marines.
Well, my favorite part was Space Marines. Gold trimmings.
Let's get some of those bad boys.
Show us
your,
Oh, bad
your chimney
boys.
sweeps.
My chimney sweeps have come on. Yeah, these ones are flaggies. Not flaggies, feathers. They just, you can see their asses now.
Move there. Over here. Move your hand here. There we go. There's their asses. They look pretty badass.
No, they're
So
really
this is
good
all the
ass.
same
Yeah,
dude.
exactly.
So,
They're all the same dude.
like,
Just
these
clones.
are the one, yeah.
Plenty
The
clones.
clones of the Feather Legion.
Yeah.
So that's been going on.
And you're gonna be executing Order 66 very soon.
What's that? Sweep all the chimneys.
Yep. Chim chimney, chim chimney, chim chim true.
Yes, because that's what free people do.
That's
That's
right.
That's
Wait, I don't do that. Does that mean I'm not free?
you're not
No,
free.
you're not free.
Dun dun dun.
Right. Yeah, so with that, what do you guys want to talk about first?
Look
Talk
out,
about
sir.
FAQs.
FAQs.
Yes, look out, sir.
Yeah. So
What changed?
no idea.
Honestly, can anyone say what the hell changed on Look Out, Sir? Andrea, do you know?
So we spent what 10, 15, 20 minutes earlier
Trying to discuss and
Rule
reading and
book,
comparing the book.
FAQ, and we both came to the conclusion like it literally says the same thing. It's literally gone to okay, this is the rule, we read it and we understand it, to this is the rule for dumb people who cannot actually understand what they're reading, so we have to spell it out. And as I told Bradley and Darren earlier, it's like Oh, I have to explain how this works now because otherwise
Exactly.
you don't get it. Fucking.
But the only reason that we even think there's a difference, like there's an FAQ that none of us like remember seeing because probably it didn't make any difference. But the article on the Warhammer community site today was like referencing it from the 10th of August. So what was that, 2 days ago?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So there was like, I didn't even know there was an FAQ out for that. But so if you haven't read the article, it says we've seen you guys complain about this rule being a bit loopholey, so we've made adjustments to stop it.
So that you guys understand
you
what
can-
we meant
so
in the
what we
first
meant.
place.
Which was to stop two characters being monsters, none or less wound characters standing next to each other,
Maybe
and
that's
stopping each of them being targeted. Because if you target the one, it is
But
not
at the
targeted
same
the other.
time, in the article they go, now Harlequins can hide their characters behind the transfer. It's like, no, but hold on.
You could do that
You
before.
could already do that before.
So maybe we just can't read the
Either
way.
is me, like the three of us not being able to read what is written, but we already understood as it is now. So I'm gonna go not for that one. It's
Because
not
it's like-
us.
And so I can't even when you look at a way something is worded and you go, okay, it's designed characters. It specifically calls out every reference that they referenced again later. I can't tell what the loophole
The
was.
issue was is that people were saying if you're a character monster and you're standing next to a character monster, therefore you can't.
Yeah, but
So-
it specifically says the last line. If you are a character and you
Ignore
ignore
other
other characters for being the closest target. So maybe that's the only line that's like ignore other characters for measuring the closest. But then like, but the above text said you can target something, a character, if it's the closest. So then maybe, I'm like, maybe if you look at every word in the Oxford English Dictionary and how it's
Maybe they were looking
The
at every
ancient
word
text of
and
how-
the thesaurus.
the source of how that word specifically in the English language is meant to be used
In Shakespeare's time.
in Shakespeare's time,
Yes.
and that is how you can misinterpret this rule. But when I read it in the way that is
Where's the actual rules lawyers? Where's the actual
Come on, rules lawyers.
who do actual law debating and do it? Hey, Justin Devonish! Oh my gosh, bud. Those nerds are happy. They're in a great home. They're sitting being painted and crazy things are happening to them. So those nerds are doing what? That's Justin, the guy who donated all the Tyranids.
okay.
Yes, good to see you. But Jared, the night is not done. Andrea does love gold. And yes, thank you very much. Do you work for Epic? Because he's just let us all know that Total War Troy is now free on the
Okay.
Epic store. Thank you very much.
Only
Yes.
I played
Totally not playing computer games. It wasn't
Minecraft.
Minecraft.
That wasn't Minecraft. I had more free time besides painting.
I have a hobby already, and it takes a lot of time. So I'm gonna
Yeah.
cry in the corner.
I'm like, I might even just get like added to my Epic account just
Just
because.
because you wanted free.
Just because you gotta collect things that are free. If someone offers you something free, you just
You
Say
yes.
no thanks.
Look, the best part about a game is that it's stuck on someone else's cupboard. You know, it's not in your house. It's not a physical thing you have to move to get out the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Justin, when you starting an army again? Haha.
It's a good
You
time.
got it. Right now.
Segue. It's a good time because Space Marines are getting an extra wound.
Dun, dun,
Dun, dun, dun.
And what if you
dude.
don't like Space
Then
Marines?
you're in trouble and you shit.
No, you're not. No, you're not. See,
You should feel sad for the next 6 months. You're gonna get your ass handed to you by anybody that
you
looks
can
like a
play
Space
Necro.
Marine.
You're gonna play
Oh,
Necro,
Necrons.
and it's gonna
Necrons
be.
are gonna spend the
How
money.
badass are Grey Knights actually going to be?
Oh, Custodians, do they get more wounds?
No, they're not Space Marines.
They're
They've got enough wounds as
But
it is. They
their
don't
weapons,
need more.
their weapons will be upgraded.
Their weapons will, because they'll be crazy bolters.
Oh, good.
It's not heavy bolters.
But they're crazy bolters.
They're crazy bolters.
Yeah. They're bolters with crazy.
No, Custodes. I think totally not biased, but Custodes will get their bugs as troops. That's what it is.
I hope not.
I hope so.
I hope.
I mean, more variation in this is probably a good thing, but like,
I hope not.
Maybe not troops, so that you're still limited to 3
The
squads.
only army that should have Barks' troops is
White Scars.
well, no, Eldar.
No.
Not even.
Only
No.
Eldar should.
Orcs. Sorry, like
Orc Barks.
No thanks.
Orc Barks are the toughest thing
I've
ever.
lived to that
No,
age.
that was gross.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No thank you.
So what did you start up again? Ooh, Steel Legion. Ooh, that is hectic. Some freaking Steel Legion starting up.
Cool.
And hey, Jason, you're back.
guess who's back?
Jason's back.
Yeah, so that's
So,
so guns are getting stronger, models are getting more wounds. So it's what with the what exactly the same thing with what we said with or what I said with the points increases. It just adds a more nuanced option. So like what they call it, the Penal Legion could be
The what legion?
the Penal Legion, they
Penal
call
Legion,
conscripts.
the conscripts.
Oh,
Yeah.
that makes a lot of sense. Okay, yeah, carry on.
No, they're not
Will they
changing.
upgrade? They upgraded the Bolter. Will they upgrade the Lasker?
No, they upgraded
From
the,
red to green.
Yeah,
That's it.
depending on which side you're on.
What?
Chaos.
No, it's because green laser is stronger than
No.
red. Oh.
If you're a Star Wars fan, probably you'd get that reference. I just think it is a Star Wars.
What reference are you making?
I wasn't making any reference. I was like, green laser is stronger than red laser.
So
we're
you're
gonna
just
give
coming
you
up with it.
a green laser pointer instead of a red laser
No, but
pointer.
a red
That's what
laser-
it is.
A red laser pointer goes faster, therefore.
That's not Orc's laser pointer. Now
But
we're
I was
mixing.
saying the green lasers are the good guys and the red lasers are the bad guys.
That's
Star
it.
Wars teaches us these things.
Exactly. Which we will talk about later. Well, the bad guys. No, but it's going to be so much fun. I think the best part about the new things is the upgrade on those weapons. Multi-melter turning into better. Melter.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so as I was saying, the
Meta change.
points increase made it so that you had a model that was 10 points, could be, and another model that's 11 points. They were like, you couldn't, between 1 point became, like, it was such a small difference between a model. So now they made points, a model costs 100 points and another model costs 50 points, there's a difference. So you can gradually change between the 2 points. So now, adding more wounds,
Yeah,
a
zoom
Space
in.
Marine is 2 wounds, an Eldar is 1 wound, a Guardian and it was a Space Marine was 1 wound, and Cadian Infantryman was 1 wound. They're the same.
That makes
Totally.
sense.
So
That's
now
what
you
they're
added
the same.
2, now there's like, okay, now you got space, like infantry that are paper thin are 1, things that are slightly tougher are 2, things that are tougher than that are 3, things that are tougher than that are increasing. And now guns do the same, like guns have...
It's funny though that you say that because one of the armies that took the least change in points was Eldar.
We still had the most, I think
Was it?
we're the
What?
biggest change.
They were the
Were
biggest.
you? Okay, no, I thought
Yeah.
it was Eldar. Sorry, my bad.
Because because the thing, it's very confusing because like our troops changed the least. The points on models changed very little, like almost nothing.
weapons.
But the weapons, no, wait, when models changed a lot, and all the weapons dropped a lot. But then the model still went up a bunch because like all the weapons just shifted onto the model and the guns changed.
Okay.
So,
What
like,
about the... Okay, so what if they increase aspect warrior, say for example, in wounds?
I don't think
They
they
won't.
It
should.
wouldn't make sense.
We're not tough. We might get like better saves, or we might get like different like.
They do say that the codexes, because now, sorry, I'm gonna be salty. Codexes, whatever.
Codex I
Not
Could
codices.
exceed.
with the CH. What?
Codices. It's from Latin, so
Nah,
it should
this
be.
is made up.
Yeah.
It's Greek.
It's Games Workshop
Games-
Latin, which
Games
is basically, we'll take some parts of Latin.
That's why, like, okay,
For a spit with-
codexes, that's great. I'm gonna roll with that. Doesn't matter. They say they're gonna have more flavoring. Every army is gonna be different. They have tuned some models. They have like done proper stuff. So that's
But
cool.
it's also-
Let's see what they come up with.
Also adding the melter rule to be +2 damage instead of 2d6 take the highest at half range. Now you can
So
add.
much better.
Okay, cool. Your melter is better than the average melter. It does 3 damage plus.
That's true.
Instead
so
of
like fusion.
instead of being 2d6, or instead of being like 1d6, 2d6 take the highest, 3d6 take the highest, 5d6 take the highest. Like, oh my gosh, like there's that. It gets to a point of like 66. You're like, oh well,
I'm gonna roll a bucket and pick the one that I prefer.
Which one? And
Where's my options?
Statistically, I should not roll.
Well, right now you are kind of taking a little bit of. I mean, we always average, but you're taking even more variance out because at this point you know that you have a minimum of 3. So you can go. You know what? I know that this will minimum roll. This will kill whatever I have to kill, so I don't have even to worry about it.
Also, then you're shooting against devastators or now models that have 3 wounds, and you're shooting your melter at them. You're like, cool.
So good.
This brings to mind. Okay, I'm happy about the heavy bolter.
The heavy bolter is going to 2 damage because we haven't said that. But like,
The heavy bolter going to 2 damage is great because it makes me smile a lot. It makes me think again about restarting the idea of the sisters. Because the sister army using the trinity of the flamer, which is increased in range, the melter, which is increased in damage.
Oh yeah,
and
flamers have gone to 12 inches.
Yep.
Enjoy deep striking.
And the deep striking flame.
Enjoy charging into my walls.
Strategic reserves, 1,000 Suns, warp flamers.
Yeah. See the
Best flamer.
The thing of they don't have to worry. Like Overwatch.
Please.
Okay.
Crisis suit. 4 flamers each. Plus 1 AP. Have fun. Oh, it's a blob of 6. They shoot 24d6 auto hits. Yes, it's strength 4. Okay, cool. Reroll 2 wound. Have fun.
Yeah.
Nerf Tau.
Nerf Tau.
The point is, it's Nerf Tau. You guys, like not you guys, them guys, just do stuff. Great. Something is gonna come
But
up
also,
on top.
it's like this is flamers for Imperium is what's changed currently, right?
No, all flamers are gonna be 12.
Yeah, because it moves across.
As I said, it says.
Well, I don't know about the
they talk-
flamers across the entire.
Because they're not changing all flamers according to they said with the Space Marine release, all the Imperium weapons are changing.
Yeah, but it
Basically
also
the same.
says
The weapons with the same name. So like the bolter.
other
But like Flamer.
factions will get their update as things come up.
Yeah, so that's going to be.
But because orcs don't get flamers, they get burners.
Yeah, and it's gonna be 12 inches. I'm
Which
sorry,
I
it's
don't
gonna
know.
be exactly the same.
It could be, but also
Weapon profiles are the same, and they are right now the same. So
because
why would
just
they
because
change?
just because it is the same currently doesn't mean GW won't change it because there's also these are points.
Because they
the
want people to
flexibility.
play different armies, because otherwise you're going to see.
Yeah, I'm not saying
that army
I'm not
has.
saying it's going to be an 8-inch flamer. I'm saying
yeah.
I'm saying Tower are going to be like a 2-inch flamer because they're
Because
small
Tau technology sucks.
and it's like
Yeah, it's bad.
not like the size.
Hey, Carl,
the
how
size
you
of it.
doing?
Remember that T-shirt that I need to get? Now even more so. Knuckle.
It's going to be a size. It'll be like 12 inches with flamer. Salt.
How's it, Carl? How you doing there?
Oh goodness.
What's it? Carl agrees. There was no weird kind of loophole. I don't know what's going on there either. But yeah, you just had to make people agree. What I find interesting though with all these things, if the Imperial weapons are the ones that are changing, what happens now if you go with Steel Legion, say for example? All those Imperial heavy bolters are cheap.
Yeah, they also get half, for now, they get half the buffs of what Space Marines get.
That's
So-
unfortunate, yes.
No, it's not unfortunate, that's the balance.
Yeah.
That's the balance. The amount of shots are maybe 3 times, yes, but they were gonna hit and wound 3 times less. So it balances out.
Yeah. What makes me really excited is the Chaos Space Marines now are going to be worth the points that you're paying for them. I mean, you're paying about 10, 20 points more for 5 Marines than you are for the same for 10 cultists. Now, you've got 2 wounds in every Chaos Space Marine. That makes me super
But also
happy.
The
now,
question-
the gun, sorry, the gun is, it's like cool. You went from 1 bullet killed 1 Space Marine to 1, specifically the heavy bolter killed 1 bullet killed 1 Space Marine. Now it's killing 1 bullet kills 1 Space Marine again. So it's shifted
Yes.
like if you're taking the bolter as the
normal bolter is
as
not going to do the
as your
same.
graph, the bolter doesn't kill Space Marines. But then the heavy bolter now, the
But
bolter and the
the
Space
heavy
Heavy
bolter
bolter is going to
now.
be more expensive.
yeah, but like
It's gonna
so
have-
what the difference between a bolter and a heavy bolter? Strength. Current.
Strength,
Strength,
AP,
AP,
and range.
So it has
Yes.
AP2? Because it's AP1 on the bolter.
No, bolter doesn't have AP.
Doesn't have AP.
Bolter
Okay.
is not AP.
So then so it's like the separation is drawing out that separation. So now you can add, if they wanted to introduce a new weapon in between the two again, you now have a slot available to like add variation. Or even a special rule now. You could add an army has, I don't know, might have shitty heavy bolters that are 1 damage.
Well, you could argue that the Chaos Marines would have shitty ones because they're the hobos of the galaxy.
No. What are you talking about?
They have the original. If the admin they need to go by, the stuff is only getting worse. Except Cole's like stuff he's been working on.
Yeah.
But, like everything that isn't the
Totally
primary.
not taken from Tau.
It's not.
What? Sorry, what?
It's the
It's not
Eldar.
taken from the Necron technology they've been stealing.
Well, and the Eldar that he's been sleeping with, like
Here we go.
Gilliman in particular.
Yeah, because Eldar waifu girlfriends are useful.
And they like mecha things. What?
This game has changed a lot.
This game has changed that.
And now we wonder why Slanesh happened. That's why.
Yeah.
The kitty man.
Okay.
I mean, chaos is supposed to exist outside of time itself, so it does make sense.
Bum, bum, bum.
Dun dun dun. Where are you?
The one thing I was wondering is if Marines go up and if weapons profiles go up. Now, the Marine is a staple of Warhammer 40K. It's always been the thing that's there. It's always been the thing the benchmark for everything. It's the model you think about most often when you make it a list.
Here's the middle, the baseline of your world.
Exactly. Everything I've always felt since second or third edition, I've always felt everything in the game that came out was like, okay, compare this model to a Space Marine. Is it better? Is it worse? What is it better at? What is it worse at?
Like,
change the stats accordingly.
Yeah, because Space Marine was 3 across the board, and then it's like with toughness
there's 4 across the board,
and then it's like Gaunts are hitting on 4s. They were slightly worse. Or Imperial Guard.
Exactly.
You shifted that's the.
And you shifted the bar up and down according to what you were measuring against the Space Marine.
Yeah.
Now, if that's happened with that, and everything's gone up accordingly, everything's gone down, orcs getting more wounds because they should in this. Not the average boy, but your bigger orcs should get more wounds and that. Wounds and that should spread higher than the game. Well, basically they'll go up. Now you've got a little bit more higher damage coming out in just the Imperial weapons we're looking at. Obviously they're going to make the Tau ones go through the roof. The Eldar ones should be great, adding, I don't know, maybe an extra wound 2 on 6s and crazy things. There's going to be some interesting stuff. I mean, we've seen what they've done with the Necron stuff.
We haven't, and that's the whole point.
Well, we've seen just 2 or 3 of the weapons. I mean, the Disintegrator is beautiful.
How many of those things are you going to have?
Make a unit. That's 5 in one list. They're 5 in one unit. That's
What's
a
the
character
damage of
count. 2.
One shot.
Was it a 2? It was 2, wasn't it?
No, it's the shotgun that went up to 2 extra.
Oh, okay. But then even if it's 1 damage, you can hit your lookout sword characters. So that's sniping all your warlocks, your
They kill
farseers.
themselves. They don't need any help.
So
But
you
like,
don't have to kill them. But sniping your farseers, it's sniping the chaos lords that are hiding in the background, the warpsmiths and the cheaper things like that are causing problems. Exalted sorcerers that are eating your day.
Disintegrator has gone to longer range. It's a heavy weapon on a rapid fire, which means, oh, did you just move? Oops. Strength 5 AP minus 2, 1
Heavy
damage.
weapon, that's the one thing. It's heavy weapon.
1 damage.
So they've lost a shot, technically.
Yeah, because it used to be rapid fire.
Longer range though, so you don't have to move, which is great.
But Deathmark have always had a special rule. It has been where as they come in, they can come in your turn first of all, and when they come in, they get to take a shot. And it's always been at a specific unit, and they always get to shoot at that unit especially for the rest of the game. They changed it a little bit where they made it only when they come in they get the special rule, and then they also changed where they didn't shoot when they came in, and there was various alterations of it. So we'll see what they're
But
going
this
to
is
use
the
with this.
weapons. This is not the units rule. We haven't
No,
seen
no,
what
this
the
is
unit
just
does.
the
This is just a
weapons.
weapon, exactly.
Now, if they come in and they do that, and say, for example, you've got a sizable enough unit, you put them in, they jump in, they hurt. That's most of your important characters' dead.
I don't think they're gonna jump in. With a weapon that is 36 inches, I don't think that's a unit that you wanna have.
No,
Oh,
that's
they're
the
gonna be
problem,
out.
because it's heavy. You're getting minus.
36 inches on a smaller board.
Also,
Well, yes, true.
There's a
36
deep
inches,
strikey model. The whole thing is they deep strike, and so
Like
like
fluff-wise, yeah.
So if they do, they count as moved, so they hit on one less.
Yeah. But that's okay if you've got
if
an
they
extra
shoot
lord
flyers.
nearby.
they're
he
all
negates
minus
it.
one hit.
He negates it. He gives you +1 to hit.
I don't know. This is theory crafting.
Exactly, this is theory crafting.
So that's them. But the point I was trying to reach after all this bleh, was basically a lot of this is going up, a lot is going sideways, wounds are getting out of that, and it kind of feels like, and we did say this at the beginning when we were doing the 9th edition review when they first announced it, it feels like they're pushing it more to less amount of models on a board even in bigger games. With the points, with everything. How do you feel? Yes or no?
Sad. That's
No,
how
I
I
don't,
feel.
like some people like I want to have my toys,
No, no,
but
but I
also
mean, do you think it is looking like that with less models on the board?
Well, each model has more value, so yes.
I,
Instead of having 20 models with 20 wounds, I have 10 models with 2 wounds each. So
Okay.
if you kill the models, they're gone, but I'm
Yeah.
gonna make it harder for you to kill those models.
Okay, now with that, now that you've gone and thought about that and you put that in your mind and you figured out what I'm saying and that thing, how do you feel? What game was it that when we first started was exactly the same? In fact, not when we first started. Once it started becoming competitive, points were allocated to it. That was like that.
Sigmar?
chess.
Yes, chess. So when they started adding points to chess,
It became a real game.
no, but that's it. I'm feeling that the game is turning a lot more into Sigma, a lot more
Which is
like it. And
so-
yes, it's
so
not a
good.
problem.
I mean, what I don't understand. Repeat that. Like, so they've added points to Sigmar, which made it. Like,
No, see, 40k has always been a lot more. There are multi-wound models, but it's not the predominant thing. There are some armies which have lots of multi-wound models, like Custodes, and
Okay, yeah.
now I think we're going to see a lot more of that. Sigma has a hell of a lot of multi-wound armies,
Pretty much, yeah.
so it's less models on the board. It just kind of feels like it's more, like someone said, more skirmish than full-on crazy battles.
I think having a game where you have more, the models have more wounds on the table. So like even if they make nuts, if they like as we were talking about earlier off stream, that if everything went up in number of wounds went up, then but if points don't change, okay, if points do change, stay where they are, then you have longer games because things are
It's
tougher.
harder to kill. Yeah.
But if points do slightly, still increase slightly, so the game has got slightly smaller, but it's now got a bit more resilience.
I want things to have 1.5 wounds.
Yeah, it's like it's a possibility with like if you multiple like everything gets times 6 times the wounds. Cool. So it's, an infantryman is 6 wounds.
Why then
The game gets a
can't
lot
wounds across
complicated.
models?
Check in?
40K. Why can't wounds go across models in units?
Because you have stuff that does d6 damage or 6 damage flat and it just goes like whoop!
No. I'm saying why? Why is it that,
They haven't brought that from ages ago.
that part from Sigma into 40K? Why is it that
Because the one to
in
shooting
Sigma,
is way higher than
I
Sigma.
shoot a ballista at things that do D3 damage, 6 of them go D3 damage, and I could kill 18 models, okay? Or do 18 wounds which kill that many wooden models, okay? But in 40k, if I did that, I'd kill 6 models.
Because the amount of shooting that you have in Sigmar and in 40k is completely different.
I get that. But I'm thinking maybe it's because a bullet can only hit one target.
No, like I think even in Age of Sigmar there's weapon like it's ignored.
Then again, there was a cool scene the other day on that movie.
Oh, and they
She
sniped
sniped
2 people.
2 people, one bullet.
Watch the old guy. Pretty cool.
Yeah, the old guy's awesome.
See, there's like there's a mental hurdle shifting from damage over to damage overflows, but also because you want weapons to feel like anti-tank weapons currently. So a gun, if a las, how do you differentiate a las gun that does d6 damage from a gun that does D6 shots. It's like D6 shots, 1 damage, or 1 shot D6 damage.
Yeah. I can shoot a lot of bullets, but they're not really scary as bullets. Or I can shoot 1 bullet that will hurt you,
And also, it's
unless you're really
it's
lucky.
normally hits easily, wounds easily because it's a big high-powered shot, and now does D6 damage. Versus a high number of shots on that same tank should hit the same, wound the same. It becomes less like it's one of those like goes. It's not black and white. It's a grey scale on what the damage output is. And there's the differentiation
Differentiation, yeah.
between the two.
No,
Differentiation
differentiation.
between those weapons isn't so black and white
Yeah.
if you do have damage spill over. Also, then it's like the balance just flows out the window then.
No, Jared, I am not trying to avoid painting. If we games you both want to use the toys, yeah, that makes sense. Carl, 5-10 games should make it shorter. Yes, they should.
Yeah, it's
The
very.
Optimum 2,000 point list is so boring, very competitive, but boring. Built a 2,500 point list, competitive and fun as hell. That's going to be an interesting one. Send it.
Here's this call.
Yeah.
It's like what makes it
Hi,
not,
Reese.
what makes it boring and not boring, like
Ow.
it's like having all the guns, like cool. Having all the guns and all the tactical, like the point of your list is the number of points you play is like make hard decisions.
Yeah.
To me, the whole point with 2,500 points is we have been moaning and bitching about tournament rules and tournament format. That's what it is. It's like, okay, you want to play tournament? That's how it is. They're giving you a full-on rule set to play that. If you want to play whatever the hell you want, you have the tools to do that, as you could do before already. And yeah, that's fun. That's 20,500 points. That's great. Let's make it a fun game. You want to play tournament? That's how it is.
But also keep in mind our tournaments here versus the tournaments we have in Joburg and the tournaments we have in Cape Town, and even more the tournaments we have
Overseas.
internationally.
Yeah.
Completely different.
Of
I mean,
course.
here we can't do 2.5 hour games.
No, we could.
We just
Yeah,
don't practice.
But I don't think maybe it's
Our player
communities
base is
that
not
just don't have
interested in
the-
doing that.
Yeah,
That's
the
a
problem.
different story. We
Yeah.
can. In fact, I would love to do something like that.
It would be
But no.
badass, but at the
Well,
same time.
It's one of those like the meta changes. Like cool, if you know you play a tournament and everyone gets to turn 3 or 4 in 2.5 hours. Now it's like cool. Now the next tournament you play, you're like, my list is designed to play the whole 5 turns. Like thinking back, like cool, you're playing a tournament, you're building a list for that all 5 turns. You play the tournament, you only get to turn 3. Now you're like, my list didn't even get its full potential because it didn't get to turn 5. So I'll design a list to be good in turn 1 and 2. And then it's like, cool, you play a tournament. It's ridiculous. It's like you've now shifted your power into the front end, and now the lists become more and more alpha strikey, earn points early. Like that, then the meta changes. So now people who play, if we have 100 people playing tournaments with them, then it get better and better. Now the game kind of shifts longer because of everyone's playing faster and you can get your game in, but it's still.
But that's the thing, it's getting the mindset, it's getting the culture of actually building and playing faster games and knowing your rules more and
And it's
paying
like
more
Yeah,
attention
but
to it.
that doesn't matter what the point cost is. It's a mindset. It's
Yeah,
a
it's the
different
mindset
idea.
to it.
You play a 1,000-point game, you can take 4 hours
Exactly.
if you're
Yeah.
playing it casual, super casually. But like,
Yeah.
We played those 500 points game. We just went relaxed and did all the things because we don't know the game, because we're trying out stuff, a whole
And they
lot
were
of stuff.
fun.
They were, absolutely.
I
But it was
like
like-
the little games because I like having, your little unit like a bunch of Marines who are going to be great now.
That's a Sunday
But having
afternoon
them go,
game.
yay, they're doing something fun because they don't do anything in a big game.
yeah, you get you get a bit of involvement in this.
Yeah. The one thing that popped up now is Carl was talking about, that obstacle holding points stuff is very useful. Obviously, a very important thing to try and get now, which is a valid point. The other thing is the objective secured holding stuff is good, but tough objective secured holding is better because of the things like the flag. which made me think, did they do anything about that on the FAQ?
I haven't even looked at the FAQ, so like,
No, they haven't.
I
I
don't,
don't think there is anything on it, because
I don't think
that is
You don't have
still
to be-
one I think is going to be nerfed.
you don't have to be tough for that flag.
True.
You don't even have to be alive. You just put the flag down and die. And then as long as your opponent doesn't take the flag back.
Okay.
Which is oof.
Yeah, but you need to be tough. If you're going to hold the flag, if you're going to put it there, do the flag thing, and still hold it so when you hit your next command phase, you get the points for holding 3.
Yeah, maybe just throw like 5 units in each objective.
You don't need to be. You don't need to be tough. You need to be small so that people cannot see you.
Oh. And you need to be a character.
The what?
Goblin.
The
Heroes.
characters.
Goblin
cannot
characters.
do that. Oh no, infantry can.
Goblin characters.
Brimstone horrors will be fantastic to hold objectives.
Ooh, that's going to be fun. Brimstone Hearts are going to be very, very interesting. 25. We've had 35 minutes so far. We've got a few new people. Nice. Thanks very much, everyone, for joining us tonight. Yeah, thank you all for popping in and seeing that. I do move out of the camera every now and then, it's because
And when he does, it's so much better.
it's so much better. It really is, because you want to see this,
Mm.
all of this. You just want to see that.
Minotaur Field Manual? Was that the point?
That Minotaur Field Manual is a point.
Okay, let's see what the right on the commission pack was.
I have been doing some of this. Yay. Working on this carapace here. As you can see, my lovely gorgeousness. All the glorious goo. Gonna add some of that in. Yay. And a happy note in. Because if you get a wish purple, you've got to put a happy note in.
What was the thing? In a nurgling in a
And a nurgling in a plague tree.
Here it is.
Yeah, yeah. Ah, I knew someone was going to say something about the Wolfen.
What? 2 wounds.
No, Wolfen are going to be fun. No, it's Travis asking about the strange looking Wolfen.
The ones on the bikes.
Dude, don't worry, the Wolfen are being sorted.
They will
Sorting
just
them out.
appear and teleport.
What's that phobia called?
Through something phobia.
Trilo something. Yeah.
If you guys don't like holes, close your eyes.
So that was the inspiration for this piece. I wanted to do that. I'm gonna fill the holes up with some goo and pus and stuff as well. Now. One of the last things we wanted to mention, no wait, we mentioned the FAQ, we mentioned the points values, we mentioned the wounds, the weapons, what else?
Tropophobia.
Ah, trypophobia, that thing. Something like that.
Then green lasers versus red lasers.
Green lasers versus red lasers. Okay, so the thing today, I actually read a very strange article. So there was Games Workshop made a statement a few weeks back about the just acceptance of everyone and the whole community thing of, I can't remember, it was all about the different movements that were happening, the problems that were happening in the world, and just saying we accept everyone of all race, creed, everything. And obviously we agree with it. I mean, it was good. Today I was reading an article about how many alt-right people are kind of being vocal in the Warhammer 40k community, well, Warhammer community, in all of it. And I thought it was really funny.
What people?
People who are very much, oh, you're being political, and then they're just being highly racist and stuff, I think, to be honest. But that wasn't what was interesting. What was interesting about it was how some people just didn't seem to get the point. For example, everyone. What does everyone think about a spaceman? A normal, standard spaceman. Are they supposed to be the good guy?
I mean, they're meant to be.
They are the defenders of humanity.
They're from Earth, so
Is humanity the good guy?
I mean, we always want to
No,
put
no,
ourselves
no.
at as being the good guys.
Not even close.
America.
They are highly xenophobic, very mentally closed. They think that whatever is not human should not be alive in the galaxy. So, I mean, it sounds kind of like as it is now. So, but apart from that, they are not the good guys.
No.
Not even close.
I mean, it's also the
There's no good
Do you
guys.
think Games Workshop intends for them to be the good guys?
No.
Is that what the look is? Do
No.
you think that that's what Games Workshop wants?
no,
They're the protectors of humanity. They are designed to be there, and like the whole idea of Space Marine is we are gonna look after humans because humans are too weak to stand up for themselves. We were made to do this.
It's going. Yeah, the whole 40k is like you've got the poster boys, as you say, but it's always grayscale about like, okay, the orcs, Tyranids, like they're the other, and that's always like the bad, like
But they're the bad guys for human perception.
from everything's taken from the human perception. That's why we see them as the good guys. It's like all stories are told by the victor, like all like histories, whatever.
Now take the, just look at the Imperium itself. The whole big, huge Imperial eagle. What does that represent?
Roman.
I mean, it is
Before
designed
that-
over Roman.
And then who went and used that after?
I mean,
Yeah, of course.
like,
Yeah.
just because someone used something, which
Exactly.
it's,
But I mean, those guys who used the swastika also stole it from.
they stole it from other people. Yeah.
Exactly.
So the
So that's
symbol
the thing,
has
there's
become.
so many-
It has shifted to be a negative.
Yeah.
symbol.
Almost sounds like it's not the hammer that is evil, but the hand that wields it.
Exactly. Ooh. No, but this is the thing: is that they were worried about because the Imperium's ideals are very much
It's old right.
fascist,
Like,
very
Yeah, they
fascist and racist, and
Towards
Like-
anything that is not humans.
yeah, sure, it doesn't look like there's gender bias in there, okay, but still.
There's no racism amongst them. Yeah, there's
Well, there is.
Humanity is humanity.
There's
You're
mutations
human, you're
and
my
stuff.
brother. Yeah, okay, but like,
You're my brother until you got a tentacle out your face,
Yeah.
or a third
But in
eye,
every, it's not.
or
They're not.
become a pariah.
It's like there's no. There's. It's if say aliens attack the Earth, it's like as soon as people realize that the small differences between us, there's always like, if you if you go to the smallest crowd, it's like cool. The animal outside that's attacking us is our enemy. We're the good guys. They come and kill us.
Yeah.
So it's like they're all
uniting for
humanoids
a common enemy.
in 40k, and they're all everything is humanoid. So therefore, it becomes a bit more grace. Like it's like, well, robots. It's like, well, the Necrons, they're Terminators. They're attacking. They're not people anymore. It's like, oh, that's a horrible phrase. It's like that
Exactly.
gets misused in like.
I think that's the thing. Is I think they look too much at other races and go, "You're not human. You don't deserve life."
Well,
doesn't make them
that's
you're-
species.
you're not
They're looking
human.
at other species.
we need to remember that in lore, humanity was enslaved for how many thousand years by Xenos?
Were they?
No, not Xenos. Robots.
Well, but when the Emperor frees Terra from the
From
machines,
the machines. Yeah.
it's not automatically everyone is freed in the
Oh, you
galaxy.
talk about the enslavers.
Talking about the fact that they launch a campaign to regain humanity and free humanity, and they go against the beast, they go against any Xenos that is.
Well, they took
well,
the
Xenos.
universe
Why do they hate Elder?
because we're different.
Because they're
Because Elder looked down on humans, and they did not consider them equals in the first place. Which we can agree they're not, but that's a different story.
Oh, that's looking real sick there, Darren. On this side of it.
Yay!
So there was ground for the Emperor to go, fuck this, I'm claiming the galaxy back for humanity and giving humanity their place in the stars. it just went pear-shaped when, well, what happened.
When your plan met contact with the other people. Like,
Yeah, the other side.
They met chaos. It wasn't even the Xenos that were stopping them.
It was themselves. It was what they really had waiting in there.
so it comes, it's like, well, you look at, you're like, oh, these space marines are just, if you guys just spoke nasty to each other, you went, okay, not to the
Yeah,
orcs
Matthew.
or not to the Necrons.
Yeah. Why not speak nasty to the Necrons?
I mean, except the Pokemon Master.
Speak nasty to all of the Necrons, and they might just be nasty to you.
I mean, okay, because actually they want, like, everyone's against chaos. So, but we can be racist against chaos. It's like
Or
it's like-
Tyranids, because...
or Tyranids,
Orcists.
but that's both. It's like, it's,
But then even chaos at that point joins in against Tyranids.
see, the enemy of my enemy. It's like, well, okay. So it's like going pacifism versus, like, I don't know what the, like, I can't picture a world where everything is like, everything's kumbayaing and not killing each other.
Yeah.
Because
not
there's always, it comes down to, it's like, you have land in another planet, and I'm gonna attack your planet and get resources from you. Like,
It's the whole reason why their tagline is "There is only war."
because like, getting a group, like a small group of people to share, to like bond.
Travis rates that it's town's fault.
It is.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
because
that's
we are
right.
the oldest race in the galaxy,
No, it's
therefore
'cause
it's our
everyone was
fault.
kind of getting calm, and everyone was going to their homes and staying
And then-
there,
then
and
they-
then tower up.
And they walked in and kicked the bucket. and it was
Sounds like an anime. And everything changed when the Town Nation are
the
attacked.
tiny. Do you have an Agrax?
I do have an accent.
Agrax, that's it.
Good
Doesn't
shit.
taste very
Good
good.
case.
But like, okay, yeah. So it's, I think, we're going purely as the Imperium. It's like,
Yeah.
the Imperium does a lot of like shitty things, but it's like,
Yeah.
I'm sure like war makes people do a lot of shitty things, as
All
well
never
as
changes. What was that? Fallout.
Yeah.
you know. So it's also it's like it's a very, what's the they just got rules, bureaucracy, and like
Bureaucracy? What?
Bureaucracy.
yeah, that's like the whole of the Imperium is now just like can't get anything done,
Oh yeah.
stuck in
It's
they don't know
a
how things
futuristic
work.
it's a futuristic communist society. That's how it is.
With the Emperor.
Well, no, because it's
He
the
doesn't
Lords of,
even know.
it's the Lords of Terra that run the show, and now Gilliman took a seat in their council, and what's his name, dude from Custodes, also has the right to sit in there because he basically speaks for the
Church
Emperor.
of Dolores.
Yeah. But those are the people that run the Imperium. The war might be something slightly different. They don't get to say much about it,
Not the war.
like where to send troops, what to do, but on every other level,
Yeah, and
it's
like,
the Lords of Terra that decide.
and like, yeah, it's like the Emperor hadn't gone away. Like what?
We wouldn't be playing the game, I think.
It's like would he have what? Like, is there an option for them winning? Like, is there even can there? Would there have? I mean, there would have been a united front of Earth.
Chaos would have never made it into reality, mostly, or like very small stuff, not on the scale that it is now.
Yeah.
Is
because-
that
Because of the Golden Throne, because of what the Golden Throne is. The Golden Throne is a way to bypass the war. It's a web way, but better. As weird as it can sound to you,
lies, lies,
but that was the idea.
heresy.
You sound imperial now. That was the idea. Let's build something that allows us to do what the warp is and what the webway is at the same time and more safe, so that we shut out completely the warp and we don't have to deal with the stuff that comes from in there.
Mm.
I mean, even Tau now have to deal with that stuff. I'm not even joking. Because humans, and because the other allies, they themselves, we know, don't have any presence in the war, right? But humans do. And humans have defected to Tau Empire a lot, actually.
Yeah, there's actually a lot of cool short stories on the Warhammer community thing with some like human Tau dudes.
The Tau.
And the thing is that you Tau, like proper Tau, are starting to go, it's your fault. This thing has messed us up, it's your fault, so you're gonna kill the humans now. It doesn't matter, you're human, even if you're not Imperium, I'm gonna kill you. That's it.
Yeah.
You joined our side, cool, and then they just shoot them as
Yep.
one of the psychic
And
awakenings.
that's exactly. That's why Shadow-san had to go in and go, what is happening? Why are you doing this?
For the greater good, until it's no longer the greater good for you.
Yeah, war corrupts. That's the whole point of it. So the big bad guy is the war, is chaos. But then
Still
is
the
it?
Tyranids. Still the Tyranids.
Exactly.
Tyranids is... Okay, chaos is terrifying. Yes, it is.
I don't think so. Chaos is very friendly.
No. Okay, yes. But chaos is terrifying. But Tyranids... I'm just glad that this edition seems to be bringing back the horror.
Mm.
In a lot of it. In the nerds, in everything.
It's like, would if orcs are left alone on the planet, do they eventually generate like space travel?
Yeah.
Like they
They
grab an
actually-
asteroid, but like
They will start driving the planet around. Because they can.
Well, if they believe it, they do it. And you have a weird boy who sits there as a focus. Yeah.
If orcs united, they take on everyone else and win. We know this.
yeah, it's just all like Tyranids for days. And
They always go to 5 Tyranids. Because
I
they have
want
fun.
to see the next evolution of the Swamp. I want to see a new Tyrannid Codex with an advancement of the storyline of them bringing something in. Like they brought the new Necron Dynasty in. Love the new Necron Dynasty idea. The whole thing behind it, how it's kind of falling apart. I mean, his dynasty is like really turning into. Yeah. Travis asks here. When Tau turned to chaos, right? Which god did they go to?
It's like hypothetical.
Yeah, hypothetical.
because I don't think they can, but.
That's a really interesting
Chaos
question. I
corrupts
think
everything. You don't have to have
so. The Firecast would definitely go to Korn. Because we need to remember that they have 5 different casts.
Yeah.
The Ethereals will beat Siege. Instantly. Instantly.
Manipulation.
Because Ethereals are the control. Manipulation. So that's an aspect that is very Siegean. Firecast being warriors and like very temperamental, they would go to Korn instantly. The Earthcast, I could probably see Nurgle, because the Earthcast is there to like,
Bold.
well, it's not even bold, but they come up with weird shit. So instead of being technology is now disease. Take what's his name, the dude from the 8, the dude into the Riptide.
Mm-hmm.
He has nanotech keeping him alive. I mean, that is literally the technological version of what Nurgle is. It's life prolonged by beings that are like
Yeah.
regenerating forever. You're just
Yeah.
using a machine instead of demonic power. But it's
It's the same. Yeah.
so I think the Earthcast would go that way. The Aircast, which is the pilots.
Wouldn't that be Siege?
Why?
Because Siege seems air. I don't know.
No, I see. I
There's no
would
reason.
go Slanesh because quick and fast, but it's not excessive. So Slanesh would be weird. And then there is the Watercast.
That would be Slanesh.
No, but that would be Singe again because it's the art of manipulating through speech. That's what the Watercast does. The Watercast
But
is
that's
very
what
diplomats.
that's what Slanesh does too. Slanesh promises.
Okay, yes,
gives you-
okay, that's a grey area. It could be either or. So the one that I cannot place is the Aircast. I would say Slanesh simply because like Slanesh is about speed as well, and they're like good. All the pilots are aircast, so maybe that.
And yeah, definitely watercast because it's the diplomats and those who know what you have,
Yeah,
your
okay.
dark desires, and want to give you the things you want, so that you will live.
So that's how it would be. But they just went next level and made their own Chaos God.
Which one?
It's a warp entity
Oh,
that is weird and like has a weird appearance. It can it doesn't really get described in the story. It's this colossal thing that makes people the auxiliary feel weird, and that's what saves them from the Death Guard in the warp. But it's a chaos entity.
what from the Traveler? Are they running from the Traveler? What? Which Death God specifically? Any one? Mortarion or
No,
is it one of the Traveler's fleets?
it's a fleet. It doesn't say which one.
Because
But when they open the Star Tide, they get stuck in the warp. Shit starts to happen. Not Tau get killed, like normal Tau get killed, the auxiliaries get insane. And at some point they get saved because the warp personification of the greater good comes around. But it's warped, it's twisted.
That's fine.
So they made their own Chaos God. They just don't worship it because this Chaos God is not there to worship. Be
Sure, it
worshipped,
wasn't just
sorry.
Kaldor Drago just appearing there.
Could be. I'm
It
not
was just
gonna say
Kaldor
no.
Drago appearing going, hey, you got some of them fine warp dust. Oh, good times. Guys, we're pretty much nearing the end of our stream tonight. We got like 4 or 5 minutes left, so we got that. I'd like to say thank you everyone for joining again. Thanks for appearing, giving us crap, doing the usual. Thank you for just being awesome, really, as usual.
We have a Facebook page now, so go
Yes,
and
we
like
do.
that.
Go like the Facebook page.
Please.
We've probably sent a lot of you invites
We're probably
already.
friends with you on Facebook, so.
So yeah, that's that. Thanks very much for being here tonight. Like and subscribe. Hit the alarm. Give
Stay
Brad
safe.
love.
Yes.
Send Andrea.
Tell your
spam.
friends about us.
Tell your friends. Tell your mom. Tell your brother.
Yeah.
Tell your
If you don't
cousin
have
wants
a
to start
brother,
Warhammer.
tell your mom about making
Yeah.
a brother so you can tell your brother.
There we
Okay?
go.
That's how we grow this community.
Exactly.
Yes. Otherwise, thanks very much everyone for popping in. Thanks for everyone for saying posits. And yeah, I think with that we're just gonna say goodbye. We're gonna love you all.
Bye.
Gonna
Good.
send you off into the distance. Cheers.
Do-do-do-do-do.